it eternity. Eternity, said Frankie Lee, with a voice as cold as ice. That's right, said Judas, eternity, though you might call it paradise.
A night that wasn't ended by the sun coming up on tour was a wasted night. You know, it's not gonna last forever. By the time the Downward Spiral tour, 94, 95, 96-ish, in that era, you know, I was well on my way to full-fledged alcoholism, drug addiction, you know, my own life. And I was starting to see, hey, maybe this isn't all it's cracked up to be, and I'm genuinely miserable, you know, through and through. I'm depressed and I hate myself, and for me, you know, it got to a point where I didn't want to be that guy anymore, you know, and I didn't know if that was going to cost me. No, I should say at that same time, you know, we're at the peak of popularity and I'm reading about myself as though I'm someone else, and now I feel like I have to live up to this vampire-y kind of whatever I've become to people, you know.
Back in 1991 on the first Lollapalooza tour, Jane's Addiction, 9 Inch Nails, to name a few bands, we were headlining that tour, and both Perry and I, and Eric Avery, we were all pretty much hardcore junkies at that time. So we were all pretty hardcore in our junkiedom. I remember one day Al showed up to visit Trent, or to say hi or whatever, come check out the show. And all three of us were like, oh, that guy's fucked up. Like we were, like somehow it made it okay. Like, you know, we were like sitting there tying off and shooting up, you know, coke and heroin, saying, well, at least we're not like that guy. You know, little did I know that I would eventually get there, you know, because it's a slippery slope. But I remember the legend of Al and his chemical abuse, and it was something to be kind of feared and hailed at the same time.
I'm abusing whatever talent I had, and I can't think straight, and I can't make good music, and well, it seems to have something to do with this trail of cocaine residue and liquor bottles that are leading to my passed out body on the floor, you know?
Tulsa, Oklahoma. 2 guitar players with a little downtime. A white supremacist rally. The perfect occasion to discuss First Amendment rights. And whether or not they're such a good idea after all.
You're listening to Bad Girl. If you would like to write Bad Girl, you can do so at nps/badgirl. You know, you wonder what influence it has on anything. I mean, you know, what are you doing press for? Why are we playing live? What does it do? You know, why are we doing it? You cannot tell people what you're doing or why you're doing. All you can do is let it go. No, and then those people have to interpret it for themselves. You know, and why should you give a shit whether somebody misinterprets your art?
That shit wouldn't happen in Chicago, man, because those motherfuckers would get killed.
Yeah, but the thing is, that shit does happen in Chicago.
A Klan rally? No, I mean, there's racism everywhere. Nazis. I'm just saying, I don't think anybody should go out and kill anyone else, but if your life is threatened, I believe that you should apply equal force to, you know, to that force, or else you're fucked, man. What do you think, Lou Dog?
Hey man, this guy right here is Marty. His name is Marty. He's a motherfucker liking the Cosmonauts. And fuck every single one of you white bastards.
A lot of forces are trying to bring me back because I'm becoming dangerously close to intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've seen enough, I've done enough, I've experienced enough pain, I've experienced enough joy in this life. At 37, I've lived 2, 3, 4, 5 lifetimes with most people. You know?
I do.
And I'm getting dangerously close to the intelligence level required to move on. And the yin and yang, the evil, the good, whatever you want to call it, I don't know if evil is the right word, but they don't like that. They want to see people, especially in this world, fail. They don't want to see you get close to a light, you know? And I can tell the closer I'm getting to a light, the more shit I'm getting, the more like Nintendo level 7, it gets harder. Yep. It really is just like that.
I can agree with that.
And I'm happier with myself now than I've ever been in my life. I can goddamn look at you and say I like myself now, which I never could before. At least not you know, and be lying. Dope? I was so angry I had to do dope the other day. I'm not having fun on dope, except that one day with you, I was having a bunch of fucking knots. I told you about one of my dreams and like weird fucking... Pressure was off and it wasn't to escape, it was strictly to expand, you know? And that was fun, and I'd love to be able to do guerrilla tactics and be strong enough to do that. You can't do it yet. I'm not afraid anymore of being alone or being perceived as wrong or unpopular or whatever. It means nothing to me anymore. And once those shackles are going, dude, it's opportunities are endless, you know? That's it, I'm macho.
World became so small, and you know, every idea and thought I had was all that mattered. Every creative thought I came up with, or every avant-garde statement I made, became the most important one. Every paranoia and fear that I came up with, every little bit of script that I wrote in my own head, became true. You know what I mean? And it not only became true, but I made it a point to convince everybody around me that it was true too, to a degree where it was, how can I put it? I mean, I went to any lengths I could to convince people that my fears and paranoias were accurate.
You might try and plant something on the bus, the cops, so that's why I'm not gonna be on the bus. I'm gonna be in a car with a Secret Service guy and Johnny driving and meeting with the Oklahoma border in the bus. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be wearing a fucking bulletproof vest doing all the Texas shows.
I see myself saying similar things to what I've seen Al say, and having the same kinds of paranoia and same kinds of ideas, and I've watched people just kind of allow me to have them. One point is because if they disagreed, the monster that was unleashed was much more intense and horrible to deal with than the guy who was just spouting off these ideas. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the people around you are given a choice. Like, do they have monster A, which is somewhat contained, or monster B, which you don't know what the fuck that guy's gonna do? You know, and monster B is a lot scarier. So people just kind of indulge.
Just musicians in general, there's something broken in them to begin with. Something happened in their childhood that pushed them to get on stage to begin with, and to perform, or feel the need to perform, or express something, whether it's mommy or daddy issues or whatever it was. So they're already kind of, you know, volatile humans as it is. There's something missing, there's a black hole.
Okay. I'm sick. I've been sick because
I was a drug addict by choice. When I was a teenager, when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then when I turned 16, I was a drug addict without choice. What Al and I think would probably have in common is that we're taking arms, we're taking our weapons and using them against our enemies. And I think that's the common thing, if there was something, in my opinion, aside from him and I having the same birthday, same, not year, but same birth, October, year, non-month, birthday. It's just that we're taking action. We're not laying back and taking it from the man. We're giving it. I've earned my reputation of being a cunt because I want to be a cunt. I'm not being macho, I'm just being honest.
In Texas, I'm definitely wearing that because they keep saying that I'm gonna die in Dallas. Yeah? Yeah, that's where they want to shoot me.
Who's to say that every single element of his life isn't a total lie? You know, maybe this whole thing is just like an act.
This is a real fucking thing, man. Just run around, move room, change this, change that. Hello? Hey, Paul. Hey, Al, how you doing, man? Oh, fuck that. Poor guy can't be fucking going on the stage. We gotta get some liquid skin tomorrow.
Liquid skin, or maybe we need to get some fucking gloves.
I had to tape my drumsticks to my, literally tape them into my hands for 2 weeks on that tour. It was the most painful fucking thing I'd ever gone through. It was horrible.
Something that isn't quite so sweaty.
Hey, they're going, go.
Okay, all right, let's go.
So many of your admirers are fanatics. You may begin to wonder if someone in the crowd isn't out to get you.
Somebody release tear gas or something on the front of the eye.
And if you do a lot of cocaine, you'll most likely become certain that someone is out to get you. And you never know. Maybe someone really is out to get you.
No, this is fucked up. This is the last tour I'm ever fucking doing, period. Ever.
Well, what do you mean?
What do I mean is that I'm not gonna fucking risk my fucking ass for this. I fucking go to sleep every night scared shitless, you know? Different names, different hotels, hiding around, fucking in and out of fucking venues, fucking, because the fucking press decide I'm satanic or something, so they need a fucking nut in the world, like, you know. I don't have a life anymore.
This is no way to live.
First something you should know.
Yeah.
The cop was recommending this one over this. He said this will stop anything that they're going to carry in and get it. This will stop a 45. He doesn't think he can do a show with it. I mean, he's willing to try it, and it's okay to sort it up and go and take it. He's just telling you this is probably better for what you're trying to do than this.
No. I do all this idiot preparation to the point where it gets like, I got too many things to remember these days. I gotta change room twice a day. Change names. I get a prank call to the room. What happens? First day, I let anybody know what hotel we're staying at or anything. Prank call to start out my morning. Next thing you know, tear gas. I'm not scared, man. I'm just cautious, you know. They can't frighten me, little fuckers. I won't let them. Just won't let them. I consider every person a definite, not a possible, but a definite stalker waiting to happen.
it's so cliche, but you bottom out. Some of us bottom out a number of times until, you know, we're hard-headed about it, and those are the real survivors, you know, and Al is a real survivor. You know, Al is someone who, I mean, has taken enough stuff to drop 3 or 4 elephants. And again, with me too, I mean, I think, and with a lot of these people, you reach a point where you're absolutely fed up with it. You're absolutely fed up with feeling that way. Absolutely fed up with feeling that way, and you have to make a choice. You're faced with, you know, slow disintegration, you know, not pretty, or maybe you'll OD, or maybe you won't, but chances are you won't because you haven't yet. And so it's slow disintegration in a really kind of ugly latter part of your life, or you choose to kind of put that behind you, and it's like, okay, I've opened that doorway, now it's time to close it. You know, I've taken all I can from this experience. The weaker ones are the ones that can't step away from it. And so I think that's what I would say to most people, is just that, you know, you understand that you have a weakness, and you work with that.
Just get it over with. Just get it over with.
It seemed like there was a spot where ministry could do no wrong. They were on a roll, but that volatile stuff backstage, the insanity and the chaos and the chemicals and the drinking, I think ended up like taking it out at the knees. And it kind of all of a sudden just, you woke up one day and it wasn't there anymore. There's a lot of bands that kind of came up that I was never really fans of them, but they were like kind of blending that hip hop sound with, you know, the industrial grooves and heavy guitars sound that I don't think do it anywhere near as well as Ministry did it or Nine Inch Nails did it. But because Ministry wasn't there to fill in that space, to take up space and to show them how to do it, it kind of left a void, and then it just kind of got filled up with stuff like, you know, Limp Bizkit and crap like that. Sorry, Fred.
When I watched some of the Al footage, I saw this guy behaving and acting in the exact same way